Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was in Prison and Sealed Away for 18 years. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the Ultimate Saiyan over in Anime King 3 and enjoy that guys. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken Agard's godly abilities over in Anime King and enjoy that guys. And on this channel I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was a one-of-a-kind prodigy, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, if anyone this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you, so yeah. Without further ado, what is to begin this new episode start? The intro. So, the last time we left off, as Naruto was sitting by himself, after talking to the twins, as a thought popped into his mind. It was when he was in hospital, as he was so bored, incredibly so. To quench his boredom, he made his way by using a clone. The clone first went to visit Kakashi as he spoke to him. Kakashi gave him a few scrolls and not to mention some advice on girls, which Naruto was thankful for. Afterwards, he went to visit Iruka, who gave him some scrolls as well, on the mist jutsu, and some advice as well, as Naruto was really looking at things in a different light now completely, as the way they describe if someone was into you was not the way that him and Sakura operated at all, as Naruto was trying to understand more, so he made his way towards a pervert, and there he was in the hot springs, as Naruto's words cut Jiraiya deep, as Jiraiya realized that he hasn't trained the brat so much, and he was supposed to be the brat's godfather, so he put aside his research and brought Naruto towards a shack. It was a house, and inside Naruto saw a photo of the fourth Hokage, as Jiraiya was their sensei, and two other students were there as well. It seems that this is the place that he stayed when he was in Konoha. Some of the other photos were turned down as Naruto was confused about that. Jiraiya said that they were painful memories. Afterwards, Jiraiya gave Naruto ink and a brush, as Naruto was a quick learner. When it comes towards throwing jutsu, Jiraiya was surprised and amazed. It was in his blood after all, as Naruto was able to create several seals. Jiraiya also gave him some good advice, not the brash ones that he usually gave him. Naruto clone returned to the hospital, as he gave Naruto the scrolls and poofed away and gave Naruto the information. Sneddy entered as she checked him over, as he asked her about how she felt about Dan, as she also gave him some good advice. Naruto could not sleep because of the images that the fox was showing him, or was that the way he really thought down low? Hinata came in that note, as Naruto saw the way she acted, everything checked less, as it was the way that Kakashi, Iruka, and Jiraiya told him a girl would act if they like him, as he asked her if she wanted to go on a date with him. She was surprised and shocked, but she said yes. So they rearranged something for Friday, as the both of them transformed so they wouldn't draw any suspicion on himself. As they went out, and it was a wonderful time, as Naruto brought her to a nice restaurant, which he could get into seeing that he was transformed. And at the end of it, Naruto told her that he would be going on a training trip that Jiraiya talked to him about. She said that she'd wait for him as she gave him a kiss, as Naruto felt something inside him stir, something warm and happy. But things didn't work out as he planned, as everything went to hell afterwards. As Naruto returned back to the main time, as he stopped thinking about that, there was something keeping within Konoha. As he made his way, as he sat down, the first person to come over to him was Guy, as he was in a wheelchair, as Guy explained to him what happened to him in the war, when Kabuto had revived Sakamu, and his entry, as he felt like it was past his time now, as he left it up to the younger generations. Afterwards, Kakashi came out to him as they spoke. And then Kurenai came over towards him. Everyone was shocked when she slapped him across the face. As they waited to see if Naruto would retaliate, warning about Kurenai's safety. But Naruto told him it's fine, just go back to partying, as he kind of deserved that. She then sat down beside him, as she wanted to talk now it seems. So yeah guys, that's basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the place for yourself. Remember to go ahead and check out the series over in the making 3 of What If Naruto's Ultimate Scene, and also over in the making of What If Naruto Awakened got the abilities, and also on this channel What If Naruto's One of a Kind project, and enjoy that guys. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get straight into this? Did you get enough of 20 years of frustration out of your system, said Naruto. Yes, Kurenai said as she sat down beside him. Good. It was never my intention to hurt Hinata, said Naruto. Perhaps not, said Kurenai, but you still did so. And you still do it. As Naruto shrugged at that one. Hit me again though, and I'll have to hurt you. As Kurenai looked like she was just about to smack him beside the head. As Naruto's eyes focused out on the party. I see a lot of Asuma in him. Kurenai smiled softly as she looked forward. Yes, my little one is all grown up. He took after Shikamaru quite a bit. He didn't want to climb to the rank of Jonin. Naruto chuckled a bit. So Shika is a godfather, he said. Yes, and Asuma wouldn't have wanted any other way, said Kurenai. It's rough on him though not knowing his father, despite what Shikamaru and Konohamaru tell him. Naruto nodded as he thought about it. It could be worse. He could not know anyone. Kiba is waving you over, he said. Kurenai stood up as she made her way towards her former student. Old man Naruto, as Naruto felt a weight turn his neck, as he looked down to see Mikoto sitting in his lap. We missed you at the park. As Naruto smiled a bit as he watched Shisui walk up to him. How are you two doing, said Naruto. Shisui gave a small grunt, as Naruto bopped him over the head. Hey, what was that for, he said. You sounded like Sasuke. And I'm not afraid to beat that grunt out of you, said Naruto, as Mikoto giggled a bit, as Shisui sat down beside Naruto on the bench. Dad has been teaching us a jutsu since. We both have 2 tomo now, says Shisui, as he activated his Sharingan showing it off. Yeah, Dad has been showing us how to make fireballs, said Mikoto as she bounced on his knee a bit before getting off, as she pushed him over to the side as she sat right beside him, as Naruto was in the center. Great. Many fire hazards, said Naruto to himself. Just be careful with those, he told them. Get away from him, both of you. As Naruto glanced up to see Itachi, civilian wife looking at him with fear for her children, afraid that they might upset him in some way. But Mom, Mikoto said. No buts, now, she shouted. As Naruto touched him on the head, it's okay. Listen to your mother, he said, as he watched him go to their mother. You could rid them of that wench. Let them be free to interact with whoever they want to. Kurama words floated in his head. It would be so easy, grabbing a chopstick, using his wind chakra and launch it like a projectile, bursting through the back of her neck. It would kill her so easily. He looked away from her, scolding her children to dance in the air for a little while. He saw Hinata and Itachi dancing once more. Itachi wasn't as close to Hinata as he was to his civilian wife, as Naruto went to the bar to get some steak, as he downed it rather quickly before he made his way over to the pier. Mind if I cut in, he said. Hinata felt like a rabbit that was caught in the gaze of a fox, a hungry fox, as her heart beat rapidly in her chest. Naruto was the only one that ever made her feel like this before. Not at all, Itachi said, as he stepped aside. As Naruto stepped closer, she placed a hand on her waist, as he took her other hand in his own. Her spear hand rested on his shoulder. Their gazes never broke, as they swayed and danced with one another. As Naruto decided to say through it, as his hand wrapped around her waist even tighter and pulled her close. Close enough he could smell the scent of lavender, and her chest pressed against his own. Her heartbeat rose incredibly. She knew that she was blushing, but she could not force herself to pull away no matter what. As she rested against him, her chest tightly pressed against his own. She could not pull away, not from Naruto. After 18 years, she felt like she had him back. As she remembered when he gave her the fox plushie, that she fell asleep to so much night's crying. As she leaned her head on his shoulder a bit, as Naruto could feel Kurama about to whisper something. Not now, Kurama, he said, as he cut the link off. He wanted to feel normal, even for a little 4-minute song. When the song was over, he stepped back, as he took her hand into his own, His lips brushed against them. It made her heart flutter the way he intensely looked into her eyes while doing the action. He then moved away as he watched some drunken Chunin showing off. He used a fire release technique as he ended up setting himself on fire. Naruto rolled his eyes as people laughed, gasped, and screamed. As he threw out the tag and activated, as water came out of the tag, falling on his Chunin. As some of the senior Chunin shook their heads at the Chunin's stupid action. As Naruto got the idea as he made his way towards the liquor store. When he entered, he noticed shopkeeper eyeing him warily, and for good reason as well. This man had been running the store for years, and he knew exactly who the blonde was. "I want 2 bottles of your finest sake," said Naruto. "Our finest?" the man said in surprise. Naruto nodded once. "I want Snaddy to be knocked out herself by the potency of your sake." The man seemed to think about as he pulled a metal case from under the counter, as he placed it on the top. As he pulled from it 2 bottles of glowing sake, Naruto blinked twice. It's glowing. Why is it glowing? This is made from the finest of ingredients. The rice used for the formation process is from the wild mountains of Komo, which they pull the highest starch content for mass. The water that is used to make it is the icebergs across the coast of the spring country. Because it has nothing in it, the water is then sent to the hidden stone, where they mix in the exact amount of magnesium, potassium, plus boric acid to give these plenty of nutrients. For the making process, not even I know the amount that is used. The rice is then sent to here where it is polished to remove all the proteins and fat, leaving behind only the starch. The process may carry quite a bit of money afterwards for the high quality rice. Naruto held up a hand. You could have just said it was made from such fine ingredients that it glowed from the blessing of Kami itself. The man paused. It is said that it glows because there's a drop of hero water in each bottle. 1 drop. As that caught Naruto's attention even more, he heard about the hero water, and he knew that was some tough shit. "I'll take them both," said Naruto, as he paid the man a large amount. He would take 1 for his private stash. The other one, he would use for some fun. Time skip. Over the next week, Naruto continued to train some more, ignoring the talk going around the town about what happened in Kiba Party. Of course, Naruto missed the last part of it, but that wasn't so bad. He wanted to miss the last part. As he was returning, he heard a shrill cry from the sky as he looked up to see a hawk circling overhead. He raised his arm as the hawk came down and landed right on his hand, as it had a small scroll on it that Naruto retrieved. It read, "Naruto, meet me at the site of our last battle. Sasuke." It seems like Sasuke already knew that he was released from prison. "Go back to your master," said Naruto. As he threw his arm in the air, the hawk flew off. As Naruto went home, as he got his fancy steak and his supplies, as he took a few swigs, making his way towards the Valley of the Inn. As he thought about that fateful day, but this time one of them would not be walking away. As he arrived, he placed the bottle on his hip, as he only drank about 1/3 of it down. There, sitting on the head of the first Hokage, was Sasuke Uchiha. His hair has grown out to the middle of his shoulder blades, and he wore a set of Akatsuki clothing. He turned his head towards Naruto as Naruto looked directly in Sharingan eyes. Sasuke wouldn't try to use a genjutsu on him. It would be too easy. "It's been a long time, Sasuke," said Naruto, as he leaned against a tree. Sasuke nodded as he looked over the water. 18 years since we had our last fight, Naruto. "Your brother has a family," said Naruto, as Sasuke's wrist tightened around his blade. "Kids?" he asked, wondering if he was an uncle. 2, actually, twins. 1 boy, 1 girl. Names, Shisui and Mikoto. "Do they call me Aji-san?" asked Sasuke. "Yes, and they both have the second tome to their Sharingan eyes," said Naruto. "Good," Sasuke said. "Strong kids from strong genes." As he got to his feet and turned fully towards Naruto, as they looked towards each other for a while, almost playing the entire battle in their heads. "I owe Itachi, and in respect of being my teammate so long ago, I'm giving you a chance to surrender. After this, I will kill you," said Naruto. Sasuke looked down to his feet. "I can't, Naruto," he said. "I hope you will understand." Naruto pushed off the tree as he grabbed his Kizurigama. "Yeah, I understand. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand." As Naruto flashed the head of Sasuke's sword, pulled from its hilt, they clashed blade to blade 2 times until Naruto kicked him away, fire style. "Fireball jutsu," Sasuke said as he launched a fireball towards the blonde in mid-air. As Naruto launched a weight of the chain right towards Sasuke's mouth, Sasuke leaped away right towards Naruto's trap. A clone appeared from behind him and slapped something on his back as the both of them dropped to the ground. The clone kicked Sasuke right in the ribs, knocking him down. It poofed away as Naruto held up a single hand sign. Seal, he said. Sasuke's eyes lost focus as he dropped, as his hand went to the tag on his back. A seal to block the Sharingan, he asked. Yeah, it lasts for 30 minutes. Let's see if you can keep up without your pink eye, said Naruto. As he launched off the head of the first Hokage as he reached into both of his pouches, he threw out dozens of tags all over the area, all along the river as well. Almost instantly, the tags went off as they froze the water into a thick ice. Sasuke leaped in the air, his sword drawn. Shield current, he said. Naruto twists as he clashed the Kizuragama against Sasuke's blade, as Naruto landed on Mother Earth's chest piece. While Sasuke landed on the frozen waterfall, Sasuke flashed through 3 hand signs and dropped his hand as he created a Shidori as he teared through the ice that was quickly repaired by the rushing water and the cold and seal. As Naruto dropped and slammed a heel, kicking Sasuke away his leg, having more reach than Sasuke's arm. But at the same time, Naruto threw some sake into his face, splashing the potent alcohol in his mouth. Sasuke landed the first Hokage and paused as he sniffed a bit. Sake? As Naruto took out the option of him using Fireball Jutsu, it would be stupid to use a fire style while having sake all over his face. As he looked up at the sky though, he could feel the storm brewing. Shidori Senbon! As he launched the attack towards Naruto, quickly dodged all of them. Sasuke charged the second Shidori as he rushed towards Naruto. As a Rasengan formed Naruto's hand as he clashed it against Sasuke's jutsu, he slammed his forehead right into Sasuke's, knocking the Uchiha back. Electricity gathered on Sasuke's blade as he swinged it, as Naruto blocked with his Kizuragama. Sasuke ducked under a blast from Naruto's weapon as he watched as a blonde skate on the ice. Sasuke had to admit Naruto has gotten a lot better since their last fight. Sasuke ran straight up the waterfall as he stood, right at the top. This is my own personal technique, Naruto, he said. You have proven worthy to die by it, as he raised his hands to the cackling clouds. Naruto laughed as he held his hand behind him, a clone poof into existence, and started to move his hand in a circular motion. Then allow me to show you the complete version of the Rasengan, he said. The ominous sound of the Rasengan Shuriken screeching as Naruto watches a lightning beast form disappear with the thunder. Kirin. Rasengan Shuriken, said Naruto as he launched his arm upwards towards the beast. Kirin had traveled faster than he could possibly imagine. Sasuke watched as Naruto Rasengan Shuriken grind against his lightning dragon, as the Rasengan Shuriken exploded outward violently, destroying his lightning dragon, cracking and destroying all the ice. As Sasuke looked down towards the blonde, as his hands had cuts all over it, it will be their final clash. As Naruto leaped and Sasuke leaped, slash! They passed each other and the both of them came to a stop. As Naruto spat out blood, a large wound on his chest, as Sasuke collapsed on his knees, as he was bisected by Naruto's Kizuragama that was channeling wind chakra. As Naruto looked down, Sasuke's blade cut deep and he could see the bone of his ribs. No doubt he'd have another scar for the rest of his life. Dope, Sasuke whispered, as he tried to roll over. As Naruto heard the old nickname as he came over. Team, he said as he helped him to roll over. Sasuke offered a weak smirk. Never thought I would be glad to hear that stupid nickname. I have one request before you end me, he said. As Naruto nodded, make that too. Give me a sip of that glowing sake. As Naruto offered Sasuke a drink, as he enjoyed it seems. My eyes. Give them to Itachi, he said. As Naruto nodded, he slashed the sickle, tearing through Sasuke's throat, taking his head, as he sealed the head away. After finishing, he made his way back to Konoha. That fight has not done anything good for him. When Naruto got paid for his duties after Sakura confirmed that it was Sasuke, he took the preserved eyes and placed them into a seal. He walked through the streets of Konoha heading towards the last place he ever thought he'd go through, the gates of the Uchiha compound. As he pushed them open and they came to view, as he went to the door and knocked firmly, as Mikoto was the one to open the door. Old man Naruto, she said, as she tackled his leg with a hug. He reached and patted her in the back a bit. Is your father in, he said. What do you want, Itachi-kun? As Naruto's eyes focused on the green-eyed woman. She was looking at him like he was someone evil. Look, either you can let me in, because I have business with Itachi, or we can discuss it in front of your 9-year-old daughter, who shouldn't be hearing this stuff, what I'm going to talk to Itachi about. She watched him for a while before turning away. His studies down the hall. Third door on the left. Mikoto, go do your homework. I don't think Kojiro Sensei would appreciate you slacking off in the academy. Yes, Mom, she says. He raced away, slipping his sandals off. Naruto made his way as he knocked. As he heard Itachi to come in, as he opened. As he saw Itachi in the midst of a lot of paperwork. Ah, Naruto-kun. What can I do for you? He said as he turned towards the blonde. Naruto glanced around, making sure that Shizuru wasn't there. As he locked the door, confusing Itachi by his actions. As Naruto pulled the scrolls out as he unsealed Sasuke's eyes and put them on Itachi's decks. It was Sasuke Uchiha's last wish that Itachi Uchiha receive his eyes. When he was done, he just turned and walked away as he heard the silent sobs of Itachi. As he wished he could have done something else, but there was nothing else to do. As he left. As Naruto was making his way home, he paused as he was about to get some steak, as he was in the mood for some steak. On his way home, he grabbed the apple from his bag as he started to eat it. Naruto paused as he got home, as he saw something that set him on edge. He was paranoid. Insanity would do that to someone. Plus, his stay in prison taught him that others would not hesitate to enter his cell or home, trying to catch him off guard and attempt to kill him. As he created a seal at register, he struck her signature. If he did not pull it off, it would leave. This broken seal on his door. It gave him time to prepare, and the seal on his front door was broken at the moment. As he held the groceries in one hand, as he pulled out the Kazuragama, as he stepped in ready to swing the chain to kill whoever was inside. What he was not expecting was Hinata to be standing there humming and singing as she was in his kitchen. She turned. Oh, Naruto-kun, she said. As he raised the eyebrow, you know, from what I understand, you're breaking and entering. As he set the bag on the counter and placed on the Kizuragama, as he could see rice in the steamer, he could smell the garlic and herbs, along with the chicken that she was cooking. She was slicing up some green pepper, some look of things. It seems like steak will have to wait till tomorrow. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, she said. I wanted to have a meal for you when you get home. I wasn't really thinking. I'll go, she said. No, wait, said Naruto. Don't go, he said. You went through the effort to start some dinner. Go ahead and finish it. As Naruto watched her for a moment, standing to her left, on one hand, there was visions of her bloody and violent death. On the other hand, he could not drive away the memories of their date, and also the dance, as those two visions were clashing in his head. After Kibakan party, I filed a divorce with Itachi. As Naruto was surprised by that, or divorce in every single way possible since yesterday. Though, we're keeping the fact on the low key, she said. As Naruto simply watched her. I want to be with you, Naruto-kun, she said, as she set the knife down, bursting her hand against her pants a bit. As she stepped towards him, she got close, despite that he hasn't gotten a shower yet. Since his fight with Sasuke, she could still smell the underlying scent of him. The scent of cinnamon, a faint smell of ramen, and the smell of cedar wood. Cinnamon bun. That was her favorite little treat. And he always smelled like a saint of it. At night, eating cinnamon bun before falling asleep. That contributed to some of her dirtier dreams. As her eyes trailed over his chest, his shirt was open because it was hot. It was like she was thinking about something much dirtier than what he would picture the girl thinking about. Who would have thought that she had a bit of a perverted streak? He allowed her to look him over for a while, as he was not disturbed by it. Why should he be? She was officially single, and long since claimed to like him, even if it wasn't in a sexual way. But after a while he spoke up. I need to get a shower. While you finish the food, he said. Her face turned red because her mind was thinking about a lot of things. Seeing him with his shirt open up, and thoughts popped in her head. Oh yes, food, she said, as she returned to working back on the chicken. As he went to the shower and he made the water as hot as possible. As he went in, it relaxed his muscles as he leaned up against the wall as it washed over him. When he was finished, he stepped out. As he ignored the mirror, Kurama would want to talk to him, and he wasn't in the mood to leave with Fox at the moment. A pair of blue pants and a tight black shirt as he stepped out. As he stopped when he saw her, her hips swaying back in front, as she wasn't wearing her jacket anymore. Thoughts flooded in his mind. How easy it would be to take her right over the counter Hinata turned as she looked over at him, as she saw a look of lust in his eyes, before it went away, as she saw his wet hair sticking to him, as she felt herself tighten up, as she looked towards him. Her childhood crush turned into something more lustful. She remembered the desire that sprung up after their dance, as she had to go home to take care of her own needs that had sprung up over the years, that she had to take care of herself. She quickly turned back to the chicken to make sure it wouldn't burn. She jumped slightly as she felt two arms touch her on the hip. As they started to squeeze her a bit, she could feel his head at the crook of her neck. She could almost picture him behind her. Naruto-kun, she said. As Naruto closed his eyes, he inhaled her smell, his hands on her hip, his head right at her neck. As his voice came out a bit raspier than usual, "I want you," he said. "I desire you, and I want your scent covering my sheets." Something tightened inside of her chest. As he said those words, she could feel her desire spring to life. It would be all too easy to say yes and be with him in his bed. She leaned back against him a bit. "And if I said yes? I don't want to be a one-night stand for you, Naruto-kun," she said. As Naruto suppressed the growl that came from his throat, of her thinking that she would be a one-night stand. How could this little woman in front of him broke through all of his mental defenses and worm her way back in his chest, in his heart? How was it that she could push back Grandma when he was unable to? Dare him to say yes? Dare he say, "Let's try and make it work between them"? Or was he too far gone to give it a shot? Such a complicated problem, it really was. As Naruto fist tightened as he slammed it into the metal refrigerator dent in it. "Damn it. Pull yourself together, Naruto," he said. She moved forward. "Naruto-kun, please," as she held on to one of his arms. "I know you're stronger than this." "I don't know, Hinata," he said. "I don't know if I'm sane enough to have a decent relationship. I don't know how far gone I am anymore. All I know is I'm completely out of my own control." As her hands tightened on his, as she reached up towards his face, pulling his head down towards her, as she kissed him right on the lips. Unlike the last time when they shared a kiss, when they were younger, this one was filled with a lot more movement and passion, as it was full with desire, passion, lust. His hands gripped her from behind and lifted her up, as she couldn't help herself but wrap her legs around him, as it was deepened, the kiss filling her. It was a bold move of her doing that, but it was worth it. She pulled back as she panted a bit. "Food first, bed second. And you will take me on a proper date," Uzumaki Naruto. As the blonde chuckled at that, "Food first, bed second," he said. "Then we have a real date. Friday at 6 with the both of us, looking like ourselves." As he looked down towards her puffy lips, as he leaned in and kissed her this time, her arms wrapped around his neck before he pulled back. As she pouted a bit, "Food, Hinata Hyuga. Then we get to the fun part. You need all the engine that you can to keep up with me." She felt a shiver run through her spine at hearing that. "I'll keep you to that, Naruto Uzumaki," she said, as she turned back towards what she was doing, as her hips swayed, drawing his attention. "She's using you, Naruto. She's trying to be the leash that will bind you to this village. Do not fall for her tempting ways. Use her, and then throw her out of your home." As Hinata saw the look on his face, as she could only guess, "Is it Grandma?" she said. "Yes, Grandma is talking to me." "Has he always talked to you?" she asked, as she stepped closer to touch his chest. "No. Only after the retrieval mission 18 years ago was he able to talk to me. Steadily, he was able to do more and more, but he cannot control my actions." "What did he say?" she said. "That you're trying to leech me to the village. If you wanted to leave, I will be the first of men to go with you. I love you too much to do otherwise," she said. "I've always loved you, Naruto-kun. Perhaps at first it was just a crush, but it has grown into love." "She's lying," said Grandma. "Save your bodily lusts. Save your curiosity at what the little wench is like, and throw her away. You do not need her. You do not want her. She will only get in the way of your revenge." As Naruto clutched his head, "No," he said. "I'm in control of myself. If I want to indulge in what it's like to be normal, I would make that my own decision. I will not hesitate when it comes to running, Obita through, or Madara for that matter. If I could, I'd run, send you Hoshirama through as well, just to state your bloodlust. You will allow me this, Kurama. You are pushing things, boy. You will take a more respected tone with me, or all bets are off. Why? Why are you so against this, Kurama? Tell me. I wish to indulge myself for once, without your bloody thoughts in my skull. I will not hesitate, and your continuous lack of faith is starting to grate on my nerves. Foolish boy, remember who and what you are. As memories flash into Naruto's mind, as he slumped forward Hinata, unable to keep him up as his body went limp. His head hit the ground, the heart tied as he was in his own world of memories. Hinata's heart started to beat heavily as she reached and felt his pulse. It was large. She needed help immediately, as she quickly bolted from the house. As she arrived to the Akimichi compound, as she pounded on Choji's door. Choji opened the door. Hinata, what's wrong? He said. I need Ino-san and Inuichi-sama. Quickly, Naruto-kun just fell, and I think he was talking with the Kyuubi before it happened. Ino came out. I'll go over to Naruto's house. You go back to the Yamanaka compound and find my dad. As Ino made her way towards Naruto's house, Hinata hopped over the wall. She activated her Byakugan, as she used it to find Inuichi. Inuichi-sama. Naruto-kun fell, and I think he was conversing with the Kyuubi before it happened. The man cursed as he leapt away with Hinata, making their way back to Naruto's compound. When they got there, they saw Ino performing a mind jutsu technique. He's just reliving his memories. I haven't dived in yet, but I can tell they won't be good, she said. Don't, Ino. Those memories you don't need to see. I have a feeling which memories they are. As Inuichi went through Hansa as he entered the blonde's mind. Flashback. Naruto sat up in the bed of the hospital. He hasn't been able to sleep properly since the Kyuubi started giving him those visions of the blood and gore. As he placed his hands to his face, tears coming from his eyes. He didn't want to hurt his friends. They were his family. It would be like cutting off his own arm. Maybe he was a monster. No, it can't be. I have seen the Kyuubi, he thought to himself. Hey kid, you're awake. He immediately wiped his face and glanced towards the blonde that smiled. What's wrong, Naruto? Said Snappy, as she was not fooled by this fake smile. Oh, just a bad dream. It keeps happening over and over. Nothing major. I'm sure it will pass, he said. Snappy nodded. As far as she could tell, he wasn't lying to her. Alright. Today you should be able to get out of here. As she ran a scan over his body, you're as healthy as a horse. It wasn't a Friday. She had more time to get him some protection from the Civilian Council. Naruto smiled as he flipped out of bed as he changed. Thanks, Bachin, he said as he jumped through the window. As he made his way to the train going to work on the jutsus that he were given, the Earth released ones were a pain in the ass, but at least he had his own jutsu to work on. By Thursday, he had performed all of his jutsus. He was able to perform them well, and he had advanced quite a lot in his studies of Fuinjutsu. Over the nights, the Kyuubi images were more twisted and cruel, as it was pushing him on the edge of insanity. Then Thursday afternoon, instead of seeing his friends slaughtered, each of the 12 civilian council members were slaughtered around him. Make them pay. Slaughter them before they can send you to prison. Go on your terms, not theirs. The words circled in his head several times. As Naruto woke in the night, as he was in a cold sweat, however, he felt like he found an answer to get rid of those visions. He had to kill. His mind tore at the possible scenarios, and that was the only one that he could come up with. He had to kill them. They were nothing to him. No one to him. Who the hell were they to dictate his life? To kick him from the village? Who the hell do they think they are? He had to kill them, to tear them to pieces. He had the will, the tools, and his hatred for them to rip them apart. As Naruto summoned 100 clones around Konoha, they start using hidden mist jutsu, as they swallow the entire village in a blanket of mist that not even the Byakugan can see through. As he got all that he needed, and what he didn't have he stole from his stores. It would be easy to round them all up. His clones went and got all of them. It was pretty easy. It was close to midnight, as he was surrounded by several figures. One fat figure was hanging upside down from his ankles. As Naruto turned on some floodlights, seals had been placed all around. Silencing seal, scents, removers, everything that he could think of. He wasn't going to be caught just yet. As Naruto stepped forward to the one in front of him and smacked him across the face, his 11 clones smacking the other 11 civilians, waking them up. Denbe, the one that brought this all in front of Snappy, was awoken. As Naruto smiled a bit, as Denby looked around confused. Where was he? What are you doing, demon? He realized that he was upside down. What have you done to me? Asked Naruto chuckled as he spun the fat man around, letting him see his other council members. What I am doing is playing by my rules. What I've done? Nothing much yet. As Naruto watches his clones slap a seal on all of their necks. I have only kidnapped the other 11 members, stripped you of your clothing, and tied you up upside down in your basement. As Naruto slapped a seal on Denby's neck. Now, I placed a special seal on you, said Naruto. What have you done to me? Why can't I move, said Denby as he could not move. That seal I used was outlawed by the daimyo in the first Shinobi War. Basically, it will keep your body from going to shock and dying, and also let you experience every single pain that I can inflict on you. As Naruto smashed his fist into Denby's ribs, breaking a few. As he smiled, it took me a while to get it, but I think I got it pretty right. As Denby coughed in pain. You will pay for this, demon, when I get done. Oh, but you won't, said Naruto, as he moved to prepare a table. As he removed the cloth, there was a lot of tools on it. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill all of you, he said, that smirk, as he grabbed a sharp-looking kunai and walked over to Denby, starting with you to prove my point as he ran the kunai up and down Denby's chest, but he did not cut him at all. The seal I use will keep you from spoiling yourself as well, so we won't have that nasty little problem. Then do it, said Denby, with as much bravado as he could pull off. Maybe he could get Naruto to back down, to make him realize that what he was doing was stupid. I planned to send Naruto as he stepped away, but the kunai is too good for you. You deserve a demon's kunai. As Naruto picked up another kunai as Denby's eyes widened. You recognize it? Good. He was holding a bent, rusty and dull kunai that had a tip broken off. It was completely worthless, barely even able to cut his finger. It was the first kunai I ever bought at your store, 5 times the price. As Naruto picked up a blue cylinder of flammable gas, as he summoned 5 more clones. We're gonna start by skinning you, Denby, said Naruto. After sparking the gas, he heated up the kunai. Denby screamed as Naruto started to cut open his stomach, as the clone started to work on his legs and hands. For 30 minutes, him and his clone skinned the bastard up to his waist. He then slapped the ceiling tag over his mouth, silencing him completely, but his face showed all the pain and suffering that he was going through. The man was in agonizing pain and unable to do anything about it, when his head was all that was left of skin, blood dripping on the ground. As Naruto was covered in blood, Naruto jammed the rusty kunai in his throat and slit it open. As Naruto wiped his face, running his hand through his hair, streaking it with red blood. As he chuckled as he watches his clones move Denby away. Let's see here. Who's next? His eyes focused on the only female. He passed over her, decided to have something special done to her. As he grabbed one of the skinnier members and placed him on the hook that Denby was on, so his hands were over his head. Hisashi Daisuke, said Naruto, as he dropped the bloody kunai and the canister of gas. As he pulled out a set of screws and a screwdriver. Let's have some fun, shall we? Daisuke closed his eyes knowing that he overcharged the blonde for construction things like screws, screwdrivers, nails, hammers, stuff for the blonde used to fix his home after it was vandalized that he had paid for, using the money that he got from the blonde. Well, part of it at least. Do your worst, he said. Oh, I plan to, said Naruto as he placed the first screw at the man's shoulder joint. As he screwed it in, the man screamed out in bloody pain. As Naruto started to screw more into his joints, popping and dislocating his joints, the civilian council was getting more bloody as Naruto was getting soaked in blood. As he forced the screws into the man's spine, stretching it and popping it violently. As he screwed it into the man's brain before jamming the screwdriver straight into his heart. The 5 clones then took another body to be beside Denby. The civilian council then realized the situation they were in. There was no escaping. They were all gonna die. The next morning, the thick fog was still over Konoha. As the morning traffic was slowed down, the council was at the tower for a meeting as they wondered where was the civilian council. The fog started to lift a bit as a figure landed in front of the tower. As he drew his hand back and threw a kunai as he stabbed in the Hokage's tower, activating the seals. As the Anvus were alerted, in an instant, Snaddy, Anvus, the elder council and clan heads were in front of a tower ready to fight. Instead of an enemy they were expecting, one figure was in the mist. Snaddy gasped as she was hit with a full scent of blood. As she got a bit squeezy, her hand started to tremble a bit as she forced it to get under control. As the mist thinned even more, there he stood, Naruto Uzumaki covered in blood. As he had a rusty kuna in his hand, he dropped the kuna and kicked it away. As he held up his hands, expecting to be cuffed, it seems. Sorry, I didn't have a whole lot of time to bathe. Naruto, if this is some sick joke, I'm not laughing, said Tsunade, as she stepped forward. He chuckled a bit. It's no joke, Bachan, he said. Tsunade-sama, I'm picking up a dozen different scents from him, at least, said Tatsumi. The scent of all the civilian council members. Naruto, what have you done, said Tsunade. He raised his hand as his grin widened in a sadistic way as he hummed a tune. The mist thinned even more. At the top of the fourth Hokage's head on the monument, there were spikes, 12 of them. At each of the spikes' end were a civilian head. As Hayashi looked up there, it's all 12 of them, he said, as he focused with his Byakugan. Konoha Clause 7, Article 48 stated that if a criminal willingly give him or herself up, they're unable to be attacked or killed until proper punishment is found. Fitting the crime, said Naruto. That was one of the laws that made Konoha seem weak to the other villages, as one of the envoys that were shaking cuffed him, despite the horror that the envoy just saw. They just wanted to kill him and get it over with. Even Danzo was shaking about what happened, as he looked towards the boy, surprised that he would do this. He was led into the tower, as Naruto hummed the entire way. The meeting that day turned into a trial. He didn't even try to excuse his actions, he told them he did it with pleasure. He didn't claim insanity, he did not claim a genjutsu was on him. He even allowed Inuichi to dive in his head to see the truth, so long as Inuichi didn't go past 8 hours. But the man still tried to go beyond 8 hours. So Naruto released the Kyuubi on the man, as he came out quickly as he passed out. We're gonna need a report about what you did to each of them, said Tsunade with a wince. She didn't want to hear this. As she looked towards the blonde, still couldn't understand why. Sure thing, Bachan, he said, as he leaned back a bit. As he went into detail, as he had taken 2 of them and told them to fight to the death. The winner would get a quick death. As they had flopped around like a fish out of water, trying to hurt the other. One managed to bash the other one head in, as Naruto grinned delightfully at that, as he went into detail about how the brains splattered all over the place. But he lied, the real victor was one to die. He had strained the man up over a fire and cooked him alive. Death number 12 though, that was his pride and joy. He had served the female council member the meat of the cooked man, telling her that he infused it with a lot of cyanide that would kill her in a few minutes, as long as she ate it all. She had gorged herself on the meat, enough that she could not keep it all down. But he lied, there was nothing in the meat, and she just ate him for nothing. As he re-sealed her, she was unable to throw up. He had left her for last. When she realized the full extent of her actions, he simply snapped her neck. Inuichi confirmed that he was sane while doing this. They convicted Naruto the same day, as they could not transfer the Kyuubi. Now with the Akatsuki and Naruto being the only Uzumaki, they had to keep him alive until the Akatsuki threat blew over. As Naruto hummed as he was escorted through Konoha, the news had spread. Some of them was glad that Demon was being put away, but to do so, he had butchered the 12 council members. Demon, someone shouted at the blonde. Monster, demon, butcherer. As Naruto paused at the last word. Why thank you, I am a butcherer, he said, with a psychotic smile. As he was taken through prison, as he noticed people watching the new meat, as he hummed, but he was still caked in dry sticky blood. As they gave him a wide berth, as he was moved. Hitachi, you owe me. I want my smokes. As Naruto paused as he saw 2 people in the yard. Who's that? The big one, said Naruto. That's Nadori Ketsuke. He's the bloody avalanche of the hidden stone. He's the only stone ninja that can claim he injured the 4th Hokage. One of the envoys said. He's also the boss of the prisoners. So give him a wide berth, please, Naruto. As Naruto glanced towards the purple envoy, her hair reminded him of someone. As he glanced back to the prisoners, as Naruto threw his elbows into the stomachs of the envoys, knocking the wind out of them. As Naruto rushed towards the man, Ketsuke noticed the kid charging him. He told the others to stay away, as he pulled a shift out to stab the blonde. As Naruto was wild, he twists as the shift stabbed right through his hair. As Naruto ducked just in time before he jumped and crawled at the man. He stabbed the man in his eyes with his 2 fingers. as Naruto drove the man head into the concrete. As he smashed it repeatedly, there was no hesitation, no mercy. He was pulled back by the two Ondos, but the damage was already done. The bloody avalanche head was cleaved in. I am Naruto Uzumaki, your new boss. I have one rule. Do not screw with me, said Naruto, as he was dragged away to solitary confinement. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. Remember, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode over in Anime King 3 of What If Naruto Was the Ultimate Saiyan, and enjoy that guys. And also over in Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken Alligard's godly abilities, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And I also post a brand new episode on this channel of What If Naruto Was a one-of-a-kind project, so go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, for you to go ahead and click that red subscribe button, become part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get out of here? See you guys soon. Peace.